Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Today is Thursday, May the 23rd, and it's episode 24 of Season 2. Thanks for joining again, you guys. On today's Nerd News Update, we got news on Nipsey Hussle's killer, some news on Steve Harvey, and some news on a bunch of shows that just ended. On today's digital download, we got enough video games, music, and movies for today and the missing episode from Tuesday. So tune in, nerd out, to today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Hey, it's your boy Spaceship, man. I got a new podcast out I want y'all to subscribe to, bro. It's called Urban Nerd Weekly, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Music. My back up in the shit. I just like some couple beats. I'm about to hit the stick, so go and follow me on Twitter. Now watch me crank that herb. Now watch me crank that herb. Watch me crank that herb. Now watch me crank that herb. Yeah. What's up? It's your boy Spaceman. I'm so glad you guys joined me today. I'm so sorry about Tuesday's episode. I did not get to do the episode for Tuesday, in case you guys didn't know. It did not come out. It wasn't like on your end or anything. I did not put out an episode on Tuesday. If you did check in on the Urban Nerd Weekly Facebook page, you will notice that there were some time constraints and as well as technological difficulties that just did not allow me to complete the episode in time to deliver it to you guys. So what we're gonna do is today's episode is gonna be packed with first off, the nerd news update is gonna be a little extra long because it's gonna cover some of the stuff I want to talk about on Tuesday and the story I was gonna talk about today, as well as the digital download is gonna be for Tuesday as well as today. So you're gonna get all of the video games and some of the stuff that dropped on Tuesday, and then the rest of the movies would have only come out on today's episode. So today you got a full deck on the digital download. But first, let's get into Nerd News Update. First story is Nipsey Hussle's murderer faces a couple of new charges. If you don't remember, a couple of months ago, we shared the very, very sad tale of the passing of a very influential, very talented, and very gifted intellectually rapper by the name of Nipsey Hussle, who was allegedly gunned down by a man by the name of Eric Holder. According to TMZ, a grand jury indicted the 29-year-old man in the March 31st killing of rapper Nipsey Hussle in Los Angeles. The grand jury also has added additional charges, which are 2 counts of assault with a firearm for the 2 men who were wounded in the shooting. Now, here's the thing. He's already getting charged for that, but because there were 2 other gentlemen, if you ever seen the video, there were 2 of Nipsey's homeboys around during the altercation that also took a little fire. But also there's also a little bit more breaking news in the fact that it's come to the attention of the public that Eric Holder also attacked another guy before the shoot, like 1 hour before he shot Nipsey. Like, witnesses said that he had been breathing very heavily and he appeared very excitable and agitated, which means he was probably already lit by the time he had made his way to even seeing Nipsey. Which, I hope he doesn't try to use this as his whole defense for, pleading insanity or whatever, just by saying he was already going crazy that day. Like, he should definitely see some time for this. But here's something interesting. On April the 4th, Eric Holder was gonna be represented. This was news on April the 4th. This was a couple months ago. Eric Holder, he was gonna be represented by the former prosecutor of O.J. Simpson by the name of Chris Darden. Just a couple of months later, on May 10th, a couple of days ago, Chris Darden, who was, like I just told you, was slated to represent Eric Holder, has announced that he's withdrawn from the case, citing threats against his family. So the dude who is representing you've threatened him and his family with murder. I don't know if you remember this or not, but you're on a chopping block for killing a guy that a lot of people want you dead for killing, and you're gonna threaten the family of the guy who's trying to, save you? Yeah, he's a real genius. I'm not gonna say he's crazy. I'm just gonna say he's probably a dumbass. So however the chips may fall with this Eric Holder fella. I really somebody definitely needs to pray for this guy. On to some other news. The Steve Harvey Show. The Steve Harvey Show, which is, of course, titled that way because it is hosted by the comedian and king of comedy, Steve Harvey, has been canceled. He's still gonna be on Family Feud or whatever, right? And he's still, of course, gonna have his radio show, and he's gonna have I think it's of course he's still gonna have the Hey Steve talk show on YouTube or whatever. But as far as the Steve Harvey talk show and his gig on Little Big Shots goes, both have been canceled, and one was canceled and the other was the gig was given to Melissa McCarthy, which one of the hilarious women in Bridesmaids, as well as a couple of other hilarious ass movies. She was also in Heat with the internet's YouTube sensation Spoken Reasons, if you guys ever got to see that cool ass movie. And it's so crazy too because the show got canceled, and right off the bat, everybody instantly decided to remember an interview that Steve Harvey had where he brought Monique out to his show, after she had been blackballed, or quote unquote blackballed, by a lot of people in the in the industry. That's why our show got canceled. We're not gonna go into all that because I'm getting all tongue tied now. To have that discussion about Monique would require a whole episode. Matter of fact, I might do that, like a bonus episode, just to make up for the fact that I dropped the ball on you guys on Tuesday. I might drop a bonus episode, this weekend, just to, go further into the whole Monique versus Steve Harvey thing that was going on. But as it is, they had a thing once upon a time when she first was getting quote unquote blackballed or whatever. Steve Harvey, first off, a lot of people are trying to perpetuate this beef between them, but let's keep in mind, Steve Harvey brought her on the show during the time when she was quote-unquote blackballed. So, not for nothing, but he was the only one willing to take a chance to let her be on TV. He broke the chain and didn't blackball her by letting her come on the show, and they had a big discussion. But anyway, because of that discussion, a lot of people walked away with some different opinions, whatever, what have you, about how they felt about how that interview went. But all in all, we flash forward to now that his show is canceled. And, everybody wants to assume that Monique is going to be like, hi, karma's a bitch, blah, 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 blah. And there was even a lot of clickbait titles on blog posts and YouTube videos all over the internet. But Monique never actually said that. She's never indulged in that shit. Her and her husband actually did a candid interview. I can't remember what news outlet, media, or internet outlet they used, but they did an interview, and they was like, this is not the time where we're going to point the finger and say, oh, look what happened to you. She really, her and her husband really took the high road, and, it was real cool about the shit. They didn't even, try to put him on blast, and, and then the crazy part is a couple of days later, because this all happened, a lot of this happened over the weekend or whatever. And, the crazy part is, after all of those people assumed that Monique was going to have that opinion, after it all died down, Steve actually posted on his own Instagram a clip, or like a video clip of him talking to an audience member who was asking him how, the audience member was going through trying to find a job, and he was getting rejection after rejection, and then he had found a decent job for a little while. And then he got, he had worked the job for a good little minute. It was a nice gig too, but he got laid off. And, he was asking Steve, how do you deal with the rejection of being laid off? He was like, and when Steve gave, his deep, meaningful, profound answer that he's been known to do on his TV shows, he actually took that clip and posted on his Instagram, and the caption read, I feel like I'm talking to myself right now. So all in all, Steve seems like he's, first off, he's just reeling from the fact that him and his wife were rumored to be getting divorced, which, come to find out, that wasn't true. I'm glad I didn't talk about that bullshit ass story on my show. But there was a rumor going around that Steve Harvey and his wife were getting divorced, which would have made divorce number like 3 or 4 for Steve Harvey, right? That shit, I'm pretty sure he's got it right this time. But that would have made the third one, and I didn't seem like it was true. And then come to find out, him and his wife Marjorie made a video themselves, like, you leaving me? He was like, nah. And she was like, you leaving me? Like, nah. We found out the same time y'all did. It just turned out that there was a rumor, and it's so crazy that happened right before the show got canceled. You think that someone was kind of coming after Steve Harvey's character, but Steve Harvey's such a clown, bro. You really got to wake up early in the morning to get down on the clown. You feel what I'm saying? Like, But either way it goes, it doesn't even seem to be tripping. First of all, Steve's kind of got the demeanor that I would probably have if I was his age and had done what he's done in the industry. Like, first off, he's 62. He's done most of what he wanted to do comedically. Second of all, as an entertainer, Steve always has jobs. He still has his talk show. He still has his stuff on the internet. Plus, he could hop and go on. I mean, he probably won't. But if he wanted the money bad enough, he could just go on tour again. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple when you were one of the kings of comedy. But also, I'd like to point out the fact that, Steve keeps a job, man. He keeps a job. Like, that's not something he's worried about. And I'm just glad that there wasn't this whole controversy sparked between, him and Monique over this, BS or whatever. On to the next piece of today's Nerd News update. Two very, very popular shows are getting the axe along with the Steve Harvey show. Like, I don't know if this is a related story. I'm going to pretend like it's not a related story, but let's just pretend like it could or could not be at this point, because I really don't know. However, at first, Star, Empire, two big shows that are on TV right now, both of their next seasons will be their last seasons on television. Empire, a lot of people speculate, and there's a little bit of truth to the fact that Empire will be ending amid the whole Jesse Smollett scandal thing that kind of happened a couple of months ago. Time runs together on me, but in Nerdland, time is a little bit irrelevant because we're doing stuff. If you don't know, don't recall, or didn't hear, a couple of months ago, Jesse Smollett, the one that played the gay one. All right, look, I forgot his name on the show. All right, you know what I mean when I say the gay brother on the show. All right, he plays that one, and it's not Hakeem. It's not. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, a couple of months ago, he pretended that he got his ass whooped by some Trump supporters, and then he said they were Nigerian, which, I mean, where the fuck did he find Nigerian Trump supporters? Anyway, he was saying he was like, got gay bashed, and then it turned out it wasn't true. Like, they didn't do shit to... Well, it wasn't that they didn't do shit to him. It's that he planned it with them, and then when shit started getting out of hand, it was like, all right, fuck this shit. All right, we're gonna tell the truth. All right, he paid us to do this shit for some kind of shit. Like, I think he was trying to, like, become a martyr for, like, the LGBT community, and I really think that shit just backfired on him. And because of all that scandal that happened with all that, they just gave Empire the axe after the season coming up. No word yet on why Star is getting the axe, but it also won't be coming back after its third season. So all you guys who are Empire and Stars fans better yuck it up, guys, because this is kind of the end. Speaking of the end, the little dragon show, Game of Thrones series finale just wrapped up recently, and it seems like a lot of the fans are really pissed off. Like, I don't even really honestly know what was going on the show. Like, first of all right, let's keep it real. I'm not just not a Game of Thrones fan, all right? It's not that I'm just not a fan of it. I don't have cable, all right? I spend all my money doing this stuff here. So that's my sacrifice. So if somebody wants to catch me up on a Game of Thrones, or like send me a link to like a synopsis of what the fuck's going on in the show, that'd be really awesome. All I know is everybody that liked the show is really pissed off because it ended stupidly. And nothing sucks more than to have a TV show end either on a cliffhanger or to have an ending that was thrown together so it doesn't make sense as to the entire rest of the show, which shouldn't be the case with Game of Thrones, because it wasn't like they got a surprise like when it ended. It was, it's just like Empire. Y'all knew this shit was gonna end. Y'all could have and did better. All right, so that was today's Nerd News Update. Well, that was today and this week's Nerd News Update. On to today's digital download. First up on the chopper block, we got on the video game section, the highly anticipated Team Sonic Racing, available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Resident Evil 4, and Resident Evil 0, all available on Switch. Observation, available on PS4 and PC. Everybody's Golf VR, available on PlayStation 4. American Fugitive, available on Switch on May 23rd and on Xbox One on May 24th. Tennis World Tour, available on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, will be available today. I keep saying May 23rd like that's not... Y'all gotta understand, man. I had to do show notes on the fly. I almost didn't have time to record this episode. So, like, yeah, I'm just hanging on by my pants this week, you guys. Bear with me. I'm sure you guys have had weeks like that. You know what I mean? Just bear with me, you know? I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. Like, all the guys listening and tuning in right now, and tuning in and nerding out. Yeah, I really fuck with y'all. All right, but anyway, going back to the digital download. American Fugitive, available today on Switch. Available tomorrow on Xbox One. Tennis World Tour, available on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Available today, so right now. Total War 3 Kingdoms, also out on PC right now. On to the movie section. All movies, of course, come out on Friday, so these will be all out tomorrow. Ad Astra, Brightburn, Booksmart, Minecraft the movie. Boom. Forgot all about that coming out. We should really check that shit out. You know, I'm gonna start trying to arrange like urban nerd meetups, and like we ain't gonna do nothing creepy like go to a coffee house and stare at each other. You know, I'll just meet up and go to a movie, and then like after the movie ends, if everybody gets over their social anxiety and their glasses are still clean enough, then maybe we can, like, you know, nerd out about the movie and then disperse and don't tell each other anything about each other in case we're too paranoid to when one of us might follow each other home, even though we don't believe anyone is interested in us that much. So yeah. But anyway, Minecraft the movie's coming out, and also coming out tomorrow is Aladdin, the live action movie. Now I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of sort of hyped about seeing this movie at first, and I went to this point of where I was like, I kind of don't want to see this movie. But as, you know, the Illuminati drop all these commercials on me, I'm starting to kind of like the idea of a live-action Aladdin movie. I was kind of mad, you know, that Will Smith, like, that's the real part that didn't have me not want to watch the movie. I love Will Smith. I love Aladdin. He's really gonna have to work to convince me that he's doing a good job as this genie. Like, Robin Williams did the animated genie so well, dude. Like, I kind of thought they were gonna get Jim Carrey to do the genie, because he's the only other person, in my eyes, that could probably do it. Maybe they couldn't afford Jim Carrey. Maybe Jim Carrey was already becoming Eggman. I don't know. All I know is Will Smith got some work to put in if he wants to impress me with this Aladdin live action movie here. All right, on to the music section of today's digital download. We got Travis Barker and Suicide Boys, Live Fast, Die Whenever. We got and all of these also come out tomorrow, May 24th on Friday. Like, I don't know what made all of them drop albums on the 24th. But yeah, that's what they all decided to do. Maybe it's because it's coming up in summer, like summertime's coming up. So everybody's like doing weird shit just because summer's coming up or whatever. But anyway, Suicide Boys and Travis Barker, Live Fast, Die Whenever. Chris Ulrich, Out to Sea. Beast Coast, Escape from New York. Flamagra, Flying Lotus. Blue in Exile, True and Living EP. Moneybag Yo, Forever Heartless. And YG's album, For Real, also drops tomorrow. And For Real will include the song that he just dropped right after his partner passed, which includes the video. Like, it's the video for Stop Snitching that just dropped. And he's got the 33 blue balloons that represent his partner Nipsey Hussle and such. It's really nice things going on. It's real subtle. So it's one of them things you got to catch so you know what's up. Nice video. We all love YG. And you know what I'm saying? Speaking of Nipsey, once again, he's just laced all up in today's episode. DJ Khaled, as you know, last Friday dropped Father of Assad. Or it might have been last Thursday. I don't know. It was last week. It was on an episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. So whatever episode I said, that's when he dropped it. But he's been promoting that shit like really heavy. Like I've been hearing it all week. Like he's doing a bang up job of making sure his product hits the streets. You know what I mean? But yeah, so he dropped that, and one of the songs on there features one of the last songs recorded by Nipsey Hussle, and the video's out, and it's also one of the last videos he actually shot that he was in before, his untimely passing. So if you guys are on, Google YouTube later on, check that video out, From Father of Assad by DJ Khaled. So yeah, man, that was today's digital download. All right, so that's 2 days worth of download, 2 days worth of nerd news update. Now, here's the thing, on today's topic, you know what I'm saying, it's Throwback Thursday, so once again, time for exploration on Black comics, and today's Black comic is Black Lightning. Now, I know I said I was going to do Static Shock real soon, but I feel like I gotta do it in the right order. Like I did Cyborg, right? And I did John Stewart, Black Green Lantern, I think. Did I do John Stewart? No, I ain't do John Stewart yet. But I'm going to do Static, but it's only fair if I do Black Lightning first. Black Lightning is a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics. The character created by writer Tony Isabella and the artist Trevor Von Eden first appeared in Black Lightning #1 in April of 1977 during the Bronze Age of comic books. While his origin story has been retconned several times, his current origin story states that he was born in the DC universe as a metahuman with superhuman abilities. Black Lightning is a DC Comics third African American superhero after John Stewart and Ty Rock. Oh, I should have did John Stewart first. All right, I'm gonna do him next time. Born Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning is originally depicted as a school teacher from the crime-ridden suicide slum area of Metropolis, who acquires electrical superpowers from a technologically advanced power belt that he puts on to use to clean up crime in his neighborhood. Over time, Pierce establishes himself as a successful superhero in the DC universe, and later stories depicted him as having internalized the belt's powers as a result of his latent metagene. Later, retellings of Black Lightning's origins simplify his story by depicting him as a metahuman with the inborn ability to manipulate and generate electricity. Tony Isabella, an experienced writer having done work for the Luke Cage character in Marvel Comics, was signed on to develop DC's first starring black character. He pitched the idea for Black Lightning, and it was developed through only 11 issues. It was developed, though only 11 issues were published in the first series due to the 1978 DC implosion. However, the character continued to make appearances in other titles over the years, including a Justice League of America storyline in which Pierce is offered but turns down a position with the group. Elements of Black Lightning were controversial when the character debuted. In the character's early days, Black Lightning was depicted wearing a combined afro wig mask and affecting an exaggerated Harlem Jive vernacular. As part of his efforts to conceal his identity as highly educated school professional Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning later became one of the founding members of the Batman-helmed Outsider superhero team. In the 2000s, DC Comics introduced Black Lightning's daughters, who inherited metahuman abilities from their father. His elder daughter, Anissa, known as Thunder, can alter her density, rendering her almost indestructible, and create shockwaves by stumping the ground. Pierce's younger child, Jennifer, also a superhero known as Lightning, has powers almost identical to her father, though she is still inexperienced and not in full control of them. Along with his presence in comics, Black Lightning has made various appearances in DC-related animated television series, video games, and comic strips. The character is being portrayed in the live action for the first time by Cress Williams in the eponymous television series, which runs on the CW. In 2011, he was ranked 85th overall in IGN's The Top 100 Comic Book Heroes storyline. A gold medal winning Olympic decathlete, Jefferson Pierce returned to his old neighborhood on the south side, suicide slum section of the city of Metropolis, with his wife Lynn Stewart and his daughter Anissa, to become the principal of Garfield High School. Southside, as it was once known, was where his father, renowned journalist Alvin Pierce, had been murdered. Guilt over this event was a factor in his decision to leave the city of Metropolis. Suicide Slum was being torn apart by a local organized crime gang called the 100. Shady corporations and crooked local politicians like Tobias Whale, a family friend and tailor, Peter Gamby, had taught much younger Jefferson how to suppress his inborn metahuman abilities so that he would not accidentally hurt any other people he cared about. Upon his return, Gamby suggested to Jefferson that he should use his powers to help the neighborhood, and refers him to a plaque paraphrasing Milo Sweetman, quoted, "Justice, like lightning, should never appear to some men hope, to other men fear." The original text of which was, "Justice like lightning ever should appear to few men's ruin, but to all men's fear. Of mortal justice, if thou scorn the rod, believe the tremble, thou art judged of God." Appalled by the public murder of Earl Clifford, one of his more promising students, Pierce tried to intervene on behalf of the school children, but quickly learned that the 100 objected violently to any interference. Pierce adopts the costume identity Black Lightning, where he had the costume, mask, and wig made by his tailor, Peter Gamby. Years later, he would tell fellow African-American superheroes Mr. Terrific that he chose the name Black Lightning because he was the only one of us around at the time, and he wanted to make sure everyone knew who they were dealing with. That's like a little, basic, little info, little intro to the character known as Black Lightning. When I do the Black comic series, it's like a kind of play on words and like a play on homage, because y'all know I do like Black comic book like characters as well as like stand-up comedians and like just comedians in general from the past that have helped pave the way to things. It's kind of like, instead of celebrating Black History Month, I try to put a little bit in every couple of episodes so that it's not just just for the hype. It's like I appreciate everything that I come from culturally, historically, genealogically, all of that. So, just support every time when something that we do good blows up. It doesn't happen often, but, Black Lightning definitely stood for something positive. And if you ever read like 3 of his comics, which I did, then you'll know that it's all in line with everything that a superhero should be. So, just go with it. But next time I'm gonna do John Stewart, and then I'm gonna do Static Shock. I swear I thought I did John Stewart already. But we'll do Black Green Lantern on another episode. This has been this episode of Urban Nerd Weekly, guys. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, I'm so sorry that I couldn't, drop the episode on Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys next week. See, my name is Space Was Here. See, I'm Space, and I was here, but now I'm